going on, everybody? This is Joe, and I am back for another Duskmourn House of Horror pre-release kit opening. Last week I did my first of my solo openings, meaning opening only one kit at a time. This will be my second one, obviously. And if you missed last week's, I encourage you to check it out. I actually got some really sick pulls, and that will be linked up in the top right-hand corner there for you. Please feel free to click or tap there and go check it out for yourself. As we talked about last week, welcome to your new forever home. Thanks for being here. We've got the Valgavoth image, the chandelier. We've got the punch-out tokens on the sides that they give you. We've got the locked tokens for the rooms here on the sides as well, or here in the front of the box. More tokens on the sides here. So if you literally come to the pre-release with nothing, you still will have some tokens. You'll even have a die to keep track of your life total if that's what you choose. Speaking of which, we got the red D20 in this one with the set symbol of Valgavoth as the 20 on the die. So we'll put that over with the rest of them. Well, I do already have one of each, but it's cool to see how many of each I get. And now I have still one white and two blue and two green, but everything else I have more. So that's pretty cool. We have, I will go over this stuff quickly. We have the insert of, speaking of Valgavoth, right here to help divide your deck and your sideboard, or however you want to choose to use the box after the event. We have our 6 packs, which we will open throughout the course of the video, of course. We have how to build a pre-release deck. I always say, ask people at the store as well, if you are interested. Check in with employees or tournament organizers or people sitting around you. Hopefully, you're at a cool enough place with a good enough community where people will be willing to help you out. Even experienced players at least the store that I go to will still look at one another and be like, what the hell am I doing here? Like, I'm trying to make one cut, or is my black good enough? Is my blue good enough? Stuff like that. Like, you will see those questions asked by experienced players. So if you are an inexperienced player, still, you know, find some cool people around you and ask them the question. Even if the answer is, I don't know, let's think about it, let's talk about it, that's totally fine as well. We looked at the insert. I just showed you the art on the other side here. It says, Duskmourn is an endless mansion full of rooms to explore. When battling the terrors of the house, unlocking the right room is often the key to survival. And then it gives you some room rules clarifications. And so I will let you read those on your own. I'm not going to read all the rules off to you. But that is because, you know, rooms are a new card type in this set. And so that may be something that folks will need a little bit of reminding on. And then, of course, if you were at an actual pre-release itself, almost certainly there would be a judge in the room. So if you ever had any questions, you can always raise your hand, yell out "judge" real loud, and someone would be able to come over and help you out. Sometimes it's some curious players running over and being like, "Ooh, what? Let me answer the question." But there will be a judge in the room who will be able to ask and help you out as well. Last week when I did this, we gave away a code for MTG Arena as well as 2 other additional codes. And then I said that this week we would be giving away 2 codes as well, and next week we would be giving away 1 code as well. But I miscounted. It's actually this week that we are giving away 1 extra code. And next week we will be giving away 2 extra codes, so for 3 total. This week we will only have 2. I do apologize for the miscommunication, but it is fine. In total, in these 3 videos, we are giving away 8 codes. So hopefully that is enough to satiate everyone's needs for MTG Arena codes. We do hope that you get good stuff, and we would love to hear if you do get good stuff. We'll talk about that as it comes up later. But first, our promo foil. Our promo foil could be any rare or mythic in the set. And so, which one did we get today? We got our promo foil rare in Charred Foyer and Warped Space, a room card in foil. I have said in the past, because I did a very large opening of this product, I opened a full case of play boosters and a full case of collector boosters. If you did not get a chance to check out that video, I highly encourage you to do so. Maybe, if I remember, I will link it also up in the top right-hand corner for you to go check out. But I have said before, from opening that case, All of the room cards are gorgeous in foil, and this one does not disappoint. Look at how cool it looks in foil. Amazing. I also mentioned last week that I really like the rooms deck, the green-blue rooms, the red-blue rooms deck. Obviously, I just looked at a room card, Joe. So yeah, if maybe this kit lets us play that rooms deck, I would really like it. It seems really cool. We have a Hardened Escort as our first card. A Vicious Clown. You know what? The red-white low-costed cards deck is also very good, like the Toys deck. A Bale Merc Leech. Slavering Branch Snapper, which is the land cycler, the forest cycler. We have a Tunnel Surveyor. This is a very good card as well, especially if you're in an Eerie deck, like a blue white Eerie deck or something like that, because this is a 2/2 creature that also comes with a 1/1 enchantment, which does trigger all of your Eerie triggers. Pretty good. Given to Violence, not a bad combat trick at all. We have a Monstrous Emergence, which is a very good removal spell. Stay Hidden, Stay Silent, speaking of good removal, and a good enchantment card. This is our first uncommon as well. Fear of Exposure for another enchantment. 3 mana 5/4. My goodness, with Trample. Obviously, there's some caveats there. That would be insane if it was just a 3 mana 5/4 Trample, but still, good card. Norrin Swift Survivalist as well. That's an interesting one. And our next card, because the card after your first 3 uncommons could be another uncommon, it could be a rare, it could be a mythic, it could apparently, before the uncommons is where the special guests are. No reason that I would know that. Don't go check on last week's video or anything. But our next card is an Ethereal Armor, also a very good one for the small creatures deck. Okay, the red-white deck. I'm liking it so far. And our rare or mythic is a Comeback Wrong. This is a very good removal spell. It is a sorcery, but still, you get to kill their creature, and then you get it until end of turn. So if it has an enter the battlefield effect, or a dies effect, or something like that, pretty good for Comeback Wrong. Behind it, our land is a Peculiar Lighthouse. I did talk about the blue-red rooms deck, so now we have a dual land fixing for blue and or white. Or, sorry, did I say white? Red is obviously what I meant. I know my colors. And then our foil is a Winter's Intervention. This is a good removal spell, and that card looks sick in foil. Wow, I like that a lot. Look at that. Incredible. Gorgeous. Behind it, a Horror Token. Not bad at all. Next pack. If you are unfamiliar with how I like to do things here on this channel, I would love to know from you, because obviously I've been speculating on it already, but I would love to know from you down in the comments below. By the time this video is over, please let me know if you opened this kit at pre-release, what kind of a deck would you try to make? That's what I want to know. We have a Bale Merc Leech to start, a Spine Seeker Centipede, Erratic Apparition with that Eerie ability we talked about, another Hardened Escort, another Vicious Clown, a Final Vengeance, interesting removal spell there, a Cackling Slasher, Clammy Prowler, Ghostly Keybearer is our first uncommon. This obviously goes very well in the red-blue rooms deck. A Killer's Mask is the second uncommon. And a Pyroclasm is the third. Now, you might think to yourself that this card would not go well in the red-white small creatures deck because it would kill all of your creatures because you're playing a bunch of small creatures. But the whole thing with the small creatures deck is sometimes if you're on the back foot, it's because they stopped your initial onslaught and then started playing bigger creatures. Well, if you can, if they swing in for big attacks and you do small blocks, or I guess it's a sorcery, so you'd have to do it the other way around. You'd attack with all of your small creatures, they'd block with all their big creatures, and then you follow it up with this. So maybe all your creatures die, but they were going to die anyway when you cast Pyroclasm, and then you can get rid of some of their big creatures as well. That's a pretty good one. But our next card is... oh my god! It is Valgavoth, Terror Eater. Now, obviously, this card is 9 mana. But Black and white in this set is the resurrection or reanimation colors. So we got to find some cards. In fact, I think the first card we opened in this kit, am I right? Yeah, I am. Nope, that was Hardened Escort. That was the last kit, I think. Anyway, we can find some white cards that will get this card back, or some black cards that will get this card back from our graveyard. You just got to mill this or discard it or something like that, and then get this back as a 9/9 flying lifelink ward, sacrifice 3 non-land permanents. It's got more abilities on the card as well. It's really, really disgusting. So if we can get this thing to work, I'm going to try, because this card is very good. It's a mythic for a reason. It is literally the focus of the entire set for a reason. Anyway, that's incredible. Behind Valgavoth, we have a regular swamp, and our foil is a foil common in Creeping Peeper. Obviously, that bottom left, or that left half of the card, looks really good in foil. The subject of the card not being really in foil is a little disappointing. I guess the eye itself is kind of cool looking, right? Yeah, all right, I'll give it that. That makes sense. Behind it, we have the art card for Haunt Woods Shrieker, and this is the alt art, the like mirror art for that card, which is pretty cool. Hey, guess what? We're giving away 2 codes for MTG Arena. As I said, this is the first of 2 to be given away. I would love it if you would shout out in the comments below and say, hey, the first code worked for me. Obviously, if it did work for you. Hopefully you get good stuff. This is our small way of saying thank you to all of you for watching our stuff. If you're interested in checking out more from us, we have this channel, Geek for All, our MTG channel. We also have 2 other channels, Video Games for All and Gluten Free for All. Those links for those 2 channels are down in the description box below. And if you would like, we would love it if you would subscribe and ring that bell here or there. It helps us out a lot, but it also helps you out, because you will find out exactly when all of our videos come out, and or whenever we go live here on this channel and or on Video Games for All. I'll talk about that more later. We have a Fear of Surveillance to start. Turn Inside Out. Love those colors. A Fear of the Dark. So obviously all of the fears in this set are enchantment creatures. Very, very cool. We have a Bashful Beastie. Another room card in Underwater Tunnel and Slimy Aquarium. Very nice. Not a lot of rooms so far. We have our promo and this one. This is what I was talking about. Emerge from the Cocoon, which, I mean, it makes perfect sense, doesn't it? What would emerge from a cocoon? How about a giant elder demon moth? Anyway, so Emerge from the Cocoon is exactly the type of card we would want. You can get out a 9/9 flying lifelink on turn 5 and gain 3 life in the process. Absolutely incredible. So more of those, please. We have a Bear Trap as well. A Seized from Slumber, good removal spell. Ooh, an Unwanted Remake as a removal spell and in the alt art, and it's our first uncommon. Not bad. Maybe white-black is what we want to do. Growing Dread is our second uncommon, and Infernal Phantom is the third, which means our next rare or mythic... Nope, sorry, we don't know that yet. Our next card is... It was still a rare in Silent Hall Creeper. This is a very interesting one. It's an enchantment creature, 2 mana, 1/1, can't be blocked, and then when it hits, you get to do some fun things. You can make it a 3/3, you could draw a card, or then eventually it has to become a copy of another target creature you control. Interesting. Behind it, our land is a fixing land in Abandoned Campground. It is white and blue. Very nice. So we have white, blue, and blue-red so far. And our foil in this pack is a Beastie Beatdown, a Gruul card, foil uncommon. That is a pretty solid removal spell, or fight spell. Actually, it's a bite spell, right? It deals damage equal to its power. Anyway, we have this art, which is the Oblivious Bookworm as an art card. Very nice. Next, all these packs with my girl Zimone on the front. Shoutouts to Quandrix. Gotta love it. All my fellow Quandrix students out there, give yourselves a shout out in the comments. We have a Slavering Branch Snapper as our first card. Another Underwater Tunnel Slimy Aquarium. We have another Fear of Surveillance. A Rip Chain Razorkin, another Fear of the Dark. A Terramorphic Expanse, if we're looking to splash. This is a very good way of doing it. Obviously, we have Abandoned Campground and Peculiar Lighthouse as well, but if those don't help, this is a great way to splash whatever color we might possibly need. We have a Clockwork Percussionist. A Baseball Bat is our first uncommon. Altenac the Thrice Called, notably another good target for some reanimation. It is a 7-mana 9/9 with trample. And if it becomes the target of a spell or an ability an opponent controls, we draw a card. Not bad at all, and this has its own way of allowing you to discard it. You just discard it and return a land from your graveyard to the battlefield tapped, and even if you don't have a land in your graveyard, you can still discard this and then get it back on a later turn by bringing it back from the graveyard with like a Escape from the Cocoon or whatever. We have a Fear of Abduction as our third uncommon. Not a bad card at all. And so our next card is a Sporogenic Infection, another uncommon, which means our next rare or mythic is a Twitching Doll. This is a very interesting one. It is pseudo ramp, right? In and of itself taps for mana. But if you sack it early to make a bunch of spiders, or if they kill it, obviously we wouldn't be able to ramp to something like Valgavoth or Altenac or something like that. But still, it is a rare. It is a card that taps for mana. Some interesting things we could do with this. Behind it, our land is a foil Abandoned Campground. So we have 2 of these now. If we really want to maybe go white-black and then splash blue for this. There's also an argument to say that if we're playing reanimation spells that are in white, that we don't need to play black to play Valgavoth. Valgavoth is triple black, but it's also 9 mana. So if your assumption is that you're going to need to find a way to get it into your graveyard, if you have ways of doing that in, let's say, green, you could play white-green, get Valgavoth back after you've discarded it or milled it or something like that. There are some fancy ways around that. We could try some things. But now our regular foil, because even if you get a land in foil, you still get a non-land in foil as well. Our regular foil is a Jump Scare as a common foil, which is, not the best foiling I've ever seen, I won't lie. It's fine, though. And behind it, a Glimmer token. We have 2 more packs to go, but we also have 1 more code for MTG Arena. Good luck to each and every one of you who are trying this code. Hopefully it works for someone, and you can shout it out in the comments down below. The second code worked for me. If you are unaware, we are live every Monday and Friday. Here on this channel, it is Monday, 8 p.m. Eastern, playing some MTG Arena. Look, it says so right there. MTG Arena for Magic Monday. Mondays at 8 p.m. Eastern. And then on Fridays, we are live over on Video Games for All, playing some video games. What a surprise. Specifically, recently, we have been playing through our second ever Nuzlocke, if you're familiar with what a Nuzlocke is, of Pokemon Soul Silver. So if that is something that you're interested in, we would love to have you at either or both of those streams. Come join us, say hey, let us know how you're doing. We would love to have you. We start with another Rip Chain Razorkin, a Fanatic of the Harrowing, Grasping Longneck, Don't Make a Sound, Shepherding Spirits, Twist Reality, Murder, solid removal, Duskmourn's Domination is the first uncommon, Let's Play a Game is the second, and Shard Mage's Rescue is the third, which means our next card, we don't know what it is yet, is another Beastie Beatdown, this one not foil, just regular. And our next rare or mythic is the Jolly Balloon Man. God damn it. This card is very interesting. I was very excited about it. We got like 2 Vicious Clowns. It would probably be pretty nice. I guess I would look at our red-white. I haven't like shut the door on it yet, but we've got Valgavoth. I kind of would rather go in that direction, maybe see if that works. If it doesn't, this is an idea. We can go red-white and do small creatures. This is hasty. It makes copies of things. Wow. Very, very interesting. Behind the Jolly Balloon Man, our land is a full art plains. We haven't gotten any full art lands yet. Gorgeous full art plains. And as we saw with the abandoned campground earlier, any of these lands that we get in this land slot could be foil or non-foil. So this is a full art land non-foil, but it could have been foil as well. But speaking of a foil, our foil in this pack is a foil common in Clockwork Percussionist. Another good one for the red-white toy deck or small creatures deck, whatever you want to call it. Very, very nice. I don't love that foiling. It's kind of hard to tell that it's even in foil at all. And then behind it, ooh, we have the Demonic Council Alt Art as our art card. Hey, guess what? We have one more pack to go. Let's decide, see if this pack helps us decide, I should say, what we're going to be playing in this pre-release that we have come upon opening this kit in. We have a Bashful Beastie to start, a Tunnel Surveyor, another Emerge from the Cocoon. Very nice. Okay, we got to find ways of getting Valgavoth into the graveyard, though. We have a Turn Inside Out, Fanatic of the Harrowing. There you go. There's ways. Discard a card. A Glimmer Burst, Malevolent Chandelier, a Violent Urge is our first uncommon. Sick colors in that art. Rite of the Moth is another very good one. Notably, we would need to be playing black for this one, though. But we can return a creature from our graveyard to the battlefield with a finality counter on it, and that would include Valgavoth. Very, very nice. And we have Fear of Imposters as our third uncommon, which means our next card is a rare in the Tale of Tameo. I'm not in love with this particular saga, for limited at least, but notably, if for whatever reason we were playing blue, this would be a way of maybe getting Valgavoth into the graveyard. It mills 6 cards over the course of 3 turns, so that's something. And then behind the Tale of Tameo, we have another rare, I was kind of suspecting it, in Razorkin Needlehead. Wow, this is a cool one. And then our land is a regular plains, non-foil. And our foil, speaking of foils, our last card that's not a token is a Skull Snap Nuisance, a uncommon foil, or an uncommon foil. Not bad, not bad. The background obviously is really cool. And its eyes look kind of cool in foil, huh? I like that. All right. Not a bad card. And behind it is a spirit token, a star spirit token. Well, I mean, it's the like, you know, head of the set. It's like the card from the set that everybody would want, or at least is like the focus of why everyone's in the house and with why the house is so weird and freaky. I genuinely don't know. I mean, we got 2 Escape from the Cocoon. I might try to make it work, but the other thing is, realistically, it would be better if we could just play the Jolly Balloon Man, the Razorkin Needlehead, and just go with like small red-white creatures and kind of go off with like Vicious Clown. There's also technically the what is it, Tunnel Surveyor or whatever, the 3-mana 2/2 that makes a 1/1 Glimmer as well, with these 3 fixing lands that fix for blue. We could play red-white, fix for blue, and put in the 2 of those that we opened, for example, because that is 2 triggers of a creature with power 2 or less entering, plus any eerie triggers that we incidentally have on those cards, because white tends to want to have eerie triggers. We could also play something like the Silent Hall Creeper and stuff like that. So we've got some options here. I would love to know your thoughts down in the comments below. Would you be able to resist the call of Valgavoth and go with red-white? Do you maybe think that red-white's not that good in this particular kit or in general? I want to know any and all thoughts that you might have and what you would play if you opened this kit at pre-release. Down in the comments below, keep the conversation going. Let me know what you thought of my pulls as well, of course. Any and all thoughts that you might have, we're always interested in hearing from you. But for now, from us here at the Geek for All family of channels, I have been Joe. And as we always say, in whichever video of ours you watch next, we will see you all next time. Thanks, everybody.